Souls has had my back since I can remember. As an infant, Brian Cole baptized me here. This place has always been a home. Running through the kitchen, stealing cookies, huge games of tag where the older kids felt like giant monsters coming to get me. I remember the first time I saw someone get on the roof in the back in the courtyard. They climbed up the tree next to it and hopped over 3 feet and were sitting on the ancient red shingles. It was bewildering to me. It was Edward Wolf. I've always felt as if I had a network of aunts and uncles always looking out for me or asking about me. Once I got older, helping Dave Fortney and my own dad cook the food I used to steal was one of my favorite things. Cooking 300 sausages as a 12-year-old was very gratifying. Community breakfasts were the best, especially on waffle days. So many smiles and everyone making everyone else happy. I remember how the playground has been so many things. Castles, submarines, cars, boats, you name it. Following the older kids around, playing insane make-believe games that we all somehow understood the entire world of, was one of my earlier memories, especially after choir practice. I remember even singing songs that Kyle taught us all throughout the day, and then saying that counted as practice. Like Shepherd's Play Your Melody or Seek You First especially. A little 25-minute period where we get a Capri Sun, 2 Oreos, and a handful of pretzels after our rehearsal and before the older kids had theirs. That time was where my imagination was so vibrant. I feel that the creative and curious soul I've grown into would never have come to shape if it wasn't for this congregation, and especially not without UIC, Will Bryan, and the Italy pilgrimage. All Souls is one of the few places in my life that has seen me through every stage, from infancy to preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, and now finally college. It scares me a little bit to leave the safety net of this place and these people. I don't know what it will be like to fly blind in a new place. I'm excited, and I'm very nervous. What I do know is that this place has taught me how to build that same safety net anyway. To create community in a safe, thin place is the biggest lesson I have taken away from my years at All Souls. I'm excited to bring all my years of experience in such a beautiful community to a new place. I want to bring the values of love and kinship to the place I will be spending the next 4 years. And I'm excited to find my way with faith in a more independent sense. Being separated from All Souls may be hard, but I feel it will supply me with plentiful opportunities to grow. Needing to go out into the world and brave the unknown is something I have felt the pull of strongly in recent months. I want to go out and see things and meet people and hear their stories. Being a member of this congregation has been the biggest privilege of my life. With so many people caring for me and giving me little nuggets of wisdom over the years, I feel equipped to conquer the world. Conquer it with love and hope and bring some of the warmth and belonging that has developed me all my life out into the world. Thank you.
For those of you I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Bieschke. Standing here today feels a little surreal in the best way possible. I want to start by saying that being in this space again means something to me. Many of you know that Hurricane Helene kept us away from this building for a while, and coming back reminds me not to take this place for granted. There's something about these walls, the lights, the room, that I didn't fully appreciate until it was temporarily out of reach. And I think that's true of a lot of things we love. Almost every Wednesday for the past 4 years, my great aunt Nancy Harrison has driven me to rehearsal, week after week, without complaint. She made sure I got here. That kind of quiet, consistent love is something I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. She never had to do it, she chose to. And because she did, I got to be here. I made my own way on Sunday mornings, one Uber at a time, but it was Nancy getting me to those Wednesday rehearsals that kept me rooted in this community. I was 14 when I first walked into All Souls as a 9th grader. I didn't know many people. I wasn't sure I would fit in. But the choir made that easy to forget. From the very beginning, they were very warm, genuinely, uncomplicatedly warm, in the way that only a community of people who have built something together can be. Nobody made me feel like a newcomer for long. They pulled me in, handed me music, and we got to work. And that was that. Over the past 4 years, I've grown up inside this community. I came in at 14 not knowing much about who I was, and I'm leaving at 18 still figuring that out. but with so much more to stand on. The choir has shaped the way I think about discipline, about showing up, and about what it means to be part of something larger than yourself. Music has a way of doing that. When every voice has to work together, you learn pretty quickly that it's not about you. I'm deeply grateful for every rehearsal, every service, every moment in this space. For Nancy, who drove me here week after week. For a community that welcomed a quiet ninth grader and gave him somewhere to belong. And for this cathedral, which even after a storm is still standing. Thank you.
Good morning, All Souls. Over my years at All Souls, I've seen different changes happening to my church over the years. I am the sixth generation throughout the church. There is Lily, Alice, Lily, John, Aaron, and then there's me. I enjoy being at my church and seeing all different generations throughout the years coming into my church to serve and do communion as a whole congregation. I enjoy being an acolyte and being a member of the AEVT for the church. I remember playing hide and seek at night in the church. It was one of my favorite moments with the youth group. And I saw spirits and I heard spirits talking. I enjoyed playing top golf with the other seniors. This is one of the seniors signing off.
Hello, my name is Tim Houghton. I want to relate how growing up in All Souls connects to today's scripture. I think that being active in the diocese and EYC was something I was called to. I wanted to take pride in my faith and build a deeper connection with the people I grew up around in the church and meeting new faces at youth events within the diocese. In different parts of Western North Carolina has been an amazing opportunity. Throughout my time with All Souls, I've had challenges such as COVID, which was early on, and Hurricane Helene, which was more recent. It sometimes felt like it was hard to keep going to the diocese and EYC events with these social and physical obstacles. But I think Will and Charlotte, who were there for me during each of those hiccups throughout high school. The scripture says, "And surely I am with you always to the very end of age." And in this new chapter of our lives, going off to college, we will have this faith we have built with one another and remember the times we've had hardships and can teach a lesson from our experiences in UIC. We've all had some important memories and other ones we look back at and laugh. In particular, one that sticks out to me is going to a steakhouse in Italy that English sends $3 signs out of 5 and spending unexpected money on a steak dinner instead of a miniature David statue. God has carried us through all of our challenges and has helped us through our youth years. The scripture is called Great Commission, touching on each one of us being called to a mission from Jesus. Although I'm still learning what my mission truly is each day, I think building community is something I feel is most important to me. I've worked on constructing my own sense of community since the first day of high school up until now. And I plan on expanding my horizons and building an even bigger community as I take this next step into college and life beyond that. Matthew 28 states, "Therefore go and make disciples of all nations." This simple command is about not just believing, but also taking initiative and going into the world as Christ has taught us. Setting a Christ-like example in day-to-day lives, building community with the people around you, and welcoming every neighbor as family. I'd like to give thanks to my family, my friends, and also surrounding me through their strength in my faith and being there to support me throughout these years. And thank you, Jack, for stepping up for this final year and making the most of it.
sanctuary. My family is newish at All Souls. We started attending 4 years ago, sometime post-COVID, pre-Halloween. Will Bryant was here and he instantly was a welcoming force for our whole family. My brother and I participating in EYC. We were both baptized in 2023 and conformed in 2024. I was lucky enough to join the pilgrimage to Italy that Will organized. That trip was amazing, and I developed strong friendships with several All Souls youth. Friendships that still thrive today in spite of being in different schools and different jobs. And while those ties remain strong, we are all about to embark on our own journeys. I know mine has been in the making since I was born in Hawaii. We got sent to Korea, where my dad served on the United Nations Joint Forces Command, where my little brother was born. Living in a different country shaped me in ways I don't know. Even though I don't have many broad recollections of our time in Korea, living in a different country helped me grow up in a diverse environment and around a unique culture. I think being in that environment helped me grow comfortable with different people, different cultures, and different beliefs. I find often that I want to travel more and continue experiencing new places. Part of experiencing new places is exploring different beliefs. Being Episcopalian is new to me. Went to the Methodist Church when we lived in Hawaii, and when we moved to Asheville, we were part of the Jubilee community. But Jubilee never really had much for me or Michael, so we would just read books during services. Then a friend of ours, Rob Elliott, mentioned All Souls, so we came to our first service. All Souls has provided my family a safe spot to land and a community to be a part of while we grieve the loss of my grandparents and grew in our understanding of being Episcopalian. Camp Henry has also been a place where I really enjoy for the fun and friends, but also as a place to question my understanding about faith and religion. I'm not really sure about it all, and I have many questions about God. Really, I think I'm waiting to be proven true, even though I know that's the opposite of faith. I appreciate being allowed the room and space to have doubts and still be accepted as part of this community. I'm sure I'll be back. Actually, we'll all be back, and I look forward to sharing more of my journey along